Hello everyone, my name is Joe and I am the founder of a startup. It's a social platform called Nubble, and it's a place for gamers to discover gaming communities and friends near them and online. So I haven't done an update video for this project in a few months. And a big part of that is because I've been super busy. And I recently had someone on my Discord server ask me earlier today to provide them with some update information, and because I'm super busy right now and there's probably a whole lot of different things to say, I figured it's much easier just to make a video. These videos also serve as a good kind of journal or diary for myself and anyone else watching. So the last time I gave an update video was in December, and so a very quick recap on what's happened since then is up to mid-December I had been working on software development, so building new features. From mid-December until about mid-January, I was on the other side of the continent visiting my girlfriend for Christmas, spending time with her, and then I came back here to Ontario, Canada, and by mid-January I had moved into a new home and I had resumed work. I think by late January I had released most of the features I was working on, and since that time I've been doing bits and pieces on building features, refining features, making improvements here and there, as well as doing a lot of business management type tasks. So for the major features since last release, I think one of the major ones is a questing system, which is basically classified ads for gamers. So you can post that you're looking for help or offering help, or that you're looking for help making a game, or that maybe you're looking to work on a game. And there have been many other changes. I have a full changelog up on the website. If you go to the dashboard once you're signed in, you can scroll down to the bottom and see a complete changelog as well as a link to see the rest of the changes. I had also recently put together a list of kind of all the features and things encapsulated in the website. A friend of mine had asked, and I ended up with a list that was well over 200 to 300 lines long. So there's actually quite a bit of stuff on the website. I think it's far more feature rich than it is clean in terms of design and UI, which is obviously something that has to improve going forward, as well as the marketing aspect and the outreach, because the site needs people on it, being a social platform, in order to work. So then, outside of the things that people can see when they go onto the change logs or they go onto the Discord, onto the website itself, what things have I been working on that's not really surfaced here? What have I been so busy with? And that's going to be a little bit challenging for me to answer because I'm still discovering a lot of it myself, and I'm still kind of at the in-between stages for a number of things. So the biggest thing there is business development. While I still do a lot of technical development, so software programming and server management, things like that, right now I'm doing some marketing, honestly not as much as I should be doing, but a lot of my time is going into business development and I suppose planning for an event and a bit of a marketing campaign in the town that I'm currently living in. So let's focus first on the event. The event is basically going to be a 100-person tournament where I give away a console at the end to the winner, and it's going to be a reason for me to, basically an excuse for me to promote the service around town. Now the other side of it also is to be raising money for local charity and trying to form some partnerships with local businesses. So that's taken up a lot of my time. I've also been working with a local college, a group of students there, about 3 groups of 3 students, so 9 people, in one of the marketing classes has had Nubble to work on as a case study. So they are to develop a marketing plan for it. And I've been putting some time into helping them out, reviewing their stuff, talking to them back and forth. So I've been putting a lot of time into that. Also, I've been looking at things for business development around, say, trying to secure some government funding and building up a bit more of a broad list of business contacts. On the business contacts end of it, it's been some talking with a mentor here or there, or potential mentor, as well as a group which is basically built up in my area by the provincial and federal government to help small businesses and startups like mine, handling a lot of things from accounting, things like intellectual property protection, so patents, trademarks, branding, what's the other one? Copyrights. Giving information around things like that, helping with figuring out probably some of the tax and accounting stuff, and maybe some legal things around how do you hire people, how do you manage staff, doing all that kind of stuff. Registering your business as a corporation, so you can actually file for all the taxes and stuff. You first need to exist as some kind of a corporation for that to work. Figuring out some details around finding funding from investors, and basically how most of the investors in the market where I currently am probably won't be investing into Nubble until it's at a more solid state. Basically, if there's more users on it and the current feature set is more proven, that's a better time to go forward to investors. But it's also a lot of work knowing what exactly you have to build up and preparing for that, and still trying to build out your contacts to slowly be able to reach out to quality investors who would be a good fit for this kind of project. Another thing is building out a lot of the business planning and monetization models for Nubble. So basically, if someone's going to invest money into Nubble, there's 2 or 3 things that have to happen first. First thing that has to happen is evaluation. So how much is Nubble worth? And based on how much they estimate it's worth, they can invest an amount based on that. So say they estimate that right now Nubble is worth $1 million. That means that for 10% of the company, they would give me $100,000 to build it and to hire staff and to grow the company. So understanding some of those things is important, but also getting there. Another thing that's very important is that in order for the business to have value to investors, you have to have a very clear idea of how it's going to make money. And that's something that's taken me a lot of time to kind of have some back and forth with, and it requires a different mindset than I would normally have with straight up development. For just development and marketing and stuff, it's purely just, it can be a passion driven kind of thing, and I can do it just whatever way I find is best for me and whatever way is fun. And there's also obviously the challenge of how do you make money while still providing it as a free service, while still doing it in an ethical manner. So coming up with a lot of those different ideas and trying to figure out how we can apply them, how I can design a lot of the features so that they can later be amended to have monetization models, while still offering a very solid, feature-rich and premium service which people will like to use. Another thing that I've been spending time on is social networking, largely for the purpose of trying to reach out and see who might be a good fit as a potential, say, co-founder, and that takes up a lot of time, even though I don't necessarily have that person yet. And it's something which is going to continue to be struggled with because it's very difficult to get someone to come on in that role when there's no money behind it. There's no money behind Nubble right now, and there likely won't be for some time unless I can find the right person to really help drive growth and the right person to drive the marketing aspect of it, not just to users, but towards potential investors. And so all that's been very, very challenging. Obviously, you try out different people here and there. What typically ends up happening is they find that they're actually quite busy with life, and taking on a project like this on a serious basis and actually putting a lot of time into it is something they don't really have time for, or maybe as much interest in as they thought they did initially. So a lot of my time and effort goes into that as well. Another thing is applying to government grants, and that takes a lot of time and effort as well. It takes some work to secure some of the money that the Canadian government has available for small businesses and startups and tech companies, and small tech companies as well. It takes time to understand what are the rules and regulations there, what are the limitations, even understanding what's available to me. I only know a very small fraction of all that information, and I'm still learning a lot of it. I've applied right now to just one primary source for a grant, and that's taken some time. It's taken a little bit of it's taken some work just to not get stressed out about that kind of thing for me. And of course, a good chunk of my time has to go to my own personal mental health and well-being. I mean, it's very challenging to be working on a project like this that I'm very invested in and passionate about, but to be doing it without any money or with any direct support when it comes to doing any of the work. It's a lot of challenge, and I have to work very, very hard and be very, very adamant about staying fit and staying healthy and getting outside and going and doing things and not just being behind the computer all the time. So that takes a good chunk of my time as well. And my girlfriend recently just moved here into town in Ontario, so a good chunk of my time is also going to go towards her and trying to keep a healthy relationship. When I'm not recording this video, I'll probably be spending some time with my girlfriend. When I'm not doing that, I'll be doing some tinkering and some little changes on the website here and there. When I'm not doing that, I'll likely be following up with a business contact and emailing them. Or I'll be following up with someone and emailing them about the event. Or I'll be talking to and following up with the students that I'm working with. Or I'll be following up with and talking with some of the, what would you call it? I guess the local support center for small businesses. I'll be talking to them and trying to arrange times to meet and get some of the resources there. Or I'll be spending my time trying to apply to grants, which is actually a very time-intensive thing to be doing. Or I will be trying to network with people and potentially find a co-founder, which would be fantastic. If anyone's watching this and has a lot of skill with web design, or has skill even with web development, or marketing would be great, business development, let me know if you want to spend a significant amount of time working on this project with the potential of being a co-founder and taking a significant amount of ownership in the company. When I'm not working on that, I'm working on trying to put together a few YouTube videos so I can share some things that I'm interested with. And honestly, those are sort of my downtime to have fun with. But obviously they all also require a lot of time and effort and work and a lot of learning, because I have to learn how to do a lot of video editing now. But they're also a good opportunity at the end of them to share the project that I've been working on, to share Nubble. So they tie into work as well. When I'm not doing that, I'll probably be going out to the gym or going out to get groceries or just go to have a walk to clear my head. When I'm not doing that, I'll probably be talking to people on the Discord server or being engaged with people in private chats as well. When I'm not doing that, I might be actually playing a game here or there, just to have a little bit of downtime and try and relax. Watch a YouTube video on the side, something informative I can learn from, and also do that. When I'm not doing that, I'm probably going to be browsing some Reddit on my phone, going a lot through entrepreneurial and startup subreddits to learn more information there. When I'm not doing that, I don't know if I mentioned this one yet, I'll be following up with people about arranging and organizing the event that I am planning. When I'm not doing that, I'll be talking to local business owners to try and figure out how I can possibly shape Nubble to serve them and promote their businesses. When I'm not doing that, I might actually be doing development for some actual real features on the website, as well as trying to improve some of the user interface, improve the user onboarding, improve, what else? Maybe add a new feature here or there, fix bugs. And I'm sure I'm missing quite a number of other things that I might be doing, but outside of all those other things, I'll probably just be sleeping. So my days are pretty packed with things to do. There is no shortage of them, and that in itself can be very, very stressful. But that being said, I have no intention to quit anytime soon. I will keep going. Hopefully I can find a good source of money that allows me to continue working on this project full-time. And if I cannot, well then I will be working part-time on a side job while it funds me so I can keep working on Nubble, basically until it is a great success. And so that is a overview of a lot of the things that are going on, and it's quite a few things. It's keeping me very, very, very busy. Honestly, I would much prefer to focus entirely on marketing and promotion of Nubble right now, because it really does desperately need to grow, and that's very important. But a lot of these other things I'm doing are also very important to having a solid foundation to grow off of. And some of them are ramp up to actually have that growth model. So the event, talking to business owners, those are things which will lead into better promotion and better advertising, as well as going out and trying to find co-founders. Those things don't pay off right now, but the idea is that down the road, they will pay off. If I have a good set of contacts, if I do end up finding the right person to help out with marketing or anything really, it will pay off exponentially. So a lot of grunt work right now, a lot of laying the foundation, a lot of things which you won't necessarily see if you're an active user on Nubble. But things that should down the road really pay off. And so for the user who asked what I've been working on and wanted to know a bit more information about it, I hope this answers your question to a fairly good degree. And that's all I've got for you today. I'm gonna spend some time now editing this video and putting it together and uploading it, because I'll be cutting out bits and pieces here and there, maybe add a few. Actually, I'm not gonna spend time adding graphics to this one. It's not worth the time. And then I'll do more work on Nubble and so on and so forth, and I'll go to bed and do it all again tomorrow. Actually, I have to go and meet with someone tomorrow. That's the other thing. If I'm not doing those other things, I'm actually out the door, walking around, going to talk to people and meet them in person, face to face. Whether it's a potential business contact, it's someone who might be able to help out on the project, or I'm interviewing a business owner, or I'm over at the college talking to a professor about the students who are working on Nubble as an assignment, as a case study really. So always doing something, and it's always something to try and help Nubble. It's just very, very difficult when you are only one person, and ironically, the challenge is added when you're one person when it comes to finding funding, finding government grants, finding support from actual business people with money. Becomes much harder when you're just one person. So as if you didn't need any more challenges, here's some more. Okay, that's all. I've gone on for far too long, so I'll see you in the next update video. Take care, have a great day, and thank you for listening.